everybody, and welcome to the first ever virtual annual meeting for Giving Women. I'm Mary Weber, the current president for Giving Women. Who would have anticipated a few months back all of the changes and challenges that have come our way so far in 2020? It's been quite a year, and it's actually only half over. Our annual meeting, which is usually held in the month of May, has historically been a live event and really one of the main highlights of our year. This year in particular, we had great plans to use the event to celebrate our 15th birthday as an organization. However, with the COVID-19 pandemic, it became necessary to first postpone the meeting and then finally make the difficult decision to move it to this virtual format in compliance with current social distancing guidelines and to protect the safety of all of our members. So while this new video format is lots of fun, we do miss seeing you in person. So let me start by dealing with a couple of housekeeping items. I want to start off by thanking our board members, Susan, Lori, Kari, Jody, Tiffany, Roseanne, and Maureen, and in particular, Vicki Slomiani and Mary Ruthio, who have both moved off of the board in May. And I want to thank them all for their time and commitment. Vicki was our rock star treasurer for a number of years, and Mary spent 2 years co-chairing the grants committee. With all of these women, we couldn't exist as an organization without these great volunteer leaders, so I hope you join me in thanking them. I'm also happy to welcome 2 new board members, Diane Slayton and Jana Deach, who joined the board last month. A key part of the annual meeting is also designed to be transparent about our organizational financials. Vicki and Diane have prepared the annual summary report, and it was attached to your meeting invitation. You can also access it via our website if you'd like to check it out and ask Diane if you have any questions. You might also recall that raising the profile of Giving Women and increasing membership is a key goal for this board. While the pandemic has certainly not helped in this regard so far, I am happy to report that we currently have 132 active members, which compares to 119 at last year's annual meeting. We have added 7 new members so far this year, which is understandably a slower pace than last year because, of course, between social distancing and not being able to have any live event, it's slowed us down. However, please know we're actively seeking new members and I would appreciate any of your referrals. Also, I would invite you to share this video with anyone who may be interested in learning more about Giving Women and maybe even joining us. Making an impact on our community through women-led philanthropy, I think, is more important now than ever before. I also want to give a special shout out to the 26 Giving Women members who contributed this spring to our special COVID-19 response fund. When we met as a board, we had no idea what to expect when we launched this effort, but many of us were feeling like we just really needed to do something, and we suspected that some of you felt the same way, and clearly you did. I'm so proud of all the members. We raised almost $10,000 to contribute in special grants to 2 of our past grant recipients, the Sheridan Story and Little Brothers Friends of the Elderly. These 2 organizations help to support different group of people who have been dramatically impacted by the pandemic. The first, low-income, hungry children, and second, elderly people who need a connection with their community. So again, thank you for your generosity. So now let me just talk for a minute about our 15-year birthday bash, the one that was planned but did not happen in May. First of all, we hope that to be able to add the celebration of this occasion into our November eye-opener. So watch for more information on that. However, there are a couple of aspects of our 15-year celebration that we didn't want to wait on. So here we go. We have done a refresh of our website, and we are launching a new updated Giving Women logo, which you can see here by my head. I want to thank Roseanne Chang and our communications team for doing an awesome work on both of these, and I would invite you to admire the new logo, which again you see behind me, and encourage you to check out our new and improved website. There's going to be more to come then on the rest of the 15-year surprises in November, so stay tuned. Last, I am so pleased to introduce the most important part of our video this evening. The absolute highlight of every annual meeting is the opportunity to spotlight our amazing grantee organizations And we're still going to get to do that this year, as each of our 2020 grantees have done about a 3-minute video presentation, which will be coming up in just a moment. While this format may not be quite as energizing and as fun as sitting around in Surly's with a great bunch of women, and being able to applaud loudly as a group, do feel free to toast our grantees with your choice of an adult beverage and clap, hoot and holler all you want, because they deserve our recognition. We've also added in a couple of fun collages of pictures of members from the last year's annual meeting and some previous ones to kind of help us all remember what it's like to celebrate together. And we will be back to doing that again soon. So I want to thank you all for being part of this amazing organization. Thank you for your generous spirits. And thank you for listening and watching tonight. And now I'm going to turn the meeting over to Kari, who's going to take it from here. Stay well, everybody.
So great to see everyone again in the pictures we will be sharing throughout today's presentation. It's not quite early, but I hope you will all pull out your favorite beverage and dream of those divine lobster rolls as we introduce our class of 2020 grant recipients. This year we have 7 grant recipients that cover a broad spectrum of the various ways people are doing good in the metro area. In 2019, the grant total was $1,506,000. In 2020, we gave out $135,000 worth of grants, and with our COVID response of $10,000, we are at a new total of $1,651,000 given to date. Benjamin Franklin said, "Well done is better than well said." So I say well done to all of our members for your continued support and generosity. We are definitely women of action. So let's hear from our class of 2020 grant recipients. Our first one is Mary Dyes, president of Assistance League Minneapolis-St. Paul, with her Links for Learning program.
Hello, I'm Mary Dries. As president of Assistance League of Minneapolis and St. Paul, it's my honor to be able to speak to you today about our organization, which has been transforming lives and strengthening communities for over 20 years. Assistance League of Minneapolis and St. Paul is a Twin Cities-based nonprofit organization that's dedicated to improving the lives of children and families. Our programs focus primarily on meeting essential needs in order to help low-income and disadvantaged students achieve success in school. Our 180 member volunteers operate our programs and provide more than 35,000 volunteer hours each year. Working closely with our partner school districts in Minneapolis, Richfield, and St. Paul, we strive to boost educational outcomes by addressing underlying issues that impact low-income families and students by providing school clothing, weekend food, literacy support, and other enrichment programs. Our programs are funded through our Assistance League Thrift Shop sales, which is located in Richfield, grants, and donations from individuals and community supporters. Now more than ever, the need in the community we serve is high. We are so grateful to have received the Giving Women grant to help fund our Links to Learning program. This program fills an urgent need for teachers and allows them to provide enrichment experiences to their students that fall outside their budgets. Grants of up to $750 are awarded, and this past year we were able to fund 135 teacher grants totaling $88,000. Over 20,000 students in 60 schools across 3 districts benefited from these grants. Some of what we funded included a community bike club, biofeedback awareness activities, nature exploration, coding and robotics, spoken word poetry, and a civil rights heritage trip. When schools moved to distance learning this past spring, some teachers repurposed their grants to meet unforeseen needs. For example, a special education teacher bought inexpensive Chromebooks, loaded them with the necessary software, and delivered them to her students in order to facilitate online learning. A St. Paul teacher purchased stamps and stationery so she could send a weekly letter to her students. And a North Minneapolis media teacher used her money to purchase digital and audio books to help her students stay connected to reading during the pandemic. Teachers have many creative ideas to provide their students with exceptional learning experiences, but all too often are limited by district funding. With your grant, our Links to Learning program will be able to turn these ideas into reality. Thank you again for your support.
Thank you, Mary. Next is Dress for Success's Professional Intelligence Program as our next grant recipient. Stephanie Silvers, CEO, and Anna Beach, Development Director, will be filling us in on this program.
I am Stephanie Silvers, CEO of Dress for Success Twin Cities. We are so grateful for your support and share your values of impacting our community in meaningful and lasting ways. At Dress for Success Twin Cities, we are making these lasting changes through employment. We serve women throughout the metro area and work with them to find success. Working with our women has become more vital than ever, and we have seen the need for our services be even greater. Over the last few months, we have met our women where they are and have heard from the women in our community who rely on our support. They are saying they need us even more, sharing that these check-ins are keeping them motivated in the morning, giving them purpose, that women are still out there working to find employment, are gaining it, and are relying on our support to get them started on that journey. But to explain further your impact and give more details on how your support has touched the lives of our women is Anna Beach, our Development Director. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Anna Beach. I am the Development Director at Dress for Success Twin Cities, and it is our mission to provide women the developmental skills, tools, positive network of support, and of course business attire that they need in order to find success and economic independence. And what that means is that we are about much more than just an outfit. We are providing women the educational tools in order to be able to find success the way that they define it. Because we know that everybody has different sets of skills, interests, passions, and we want to help women find those passions so that they can define that for themselves. The women we serve are ranging anywhere from age 19 to 73. The majority of the women we serve are women of color, and we are a lot different than some of the other government and social service agencies in the area because we approach our programming from a holistic perspective that focuses on strengths, because we know that every woman has the internal strength and capacity to be successful, and what we want to do is help her discover that. It's our vision to significantly increase the number of women who gain and maintain employment, and through that, personal and financial stability. And thank you to the Giving Women Foundation for helping us get one step closer to achieving that goal.
Listening House of St. Paul received grant money for general operating expenses. Cheryl Peterson is the executive director, and she'll be telling us all about what they do at Listening House.
Hello, Giving Women. I'm Cheryl Peterson, the executive director of Listening House of St. Paul. And on behalf of the women and men who seek refuge in our humble space in the basement of First Lutheran Church, just outside of downtown St. Paul, I want to thank you for your support. Listening House is a daytime drop-in community resource center providing hospitality, practical assistance, and counsel to people experiencing homelessness, deep poverty, and the loneliness that comes from isolation. Our founders knew that listening was healing. That's why, in addition to hot coffee, cool drinks, hygiene supplies, clean clothes, socks, shoes, private bathrooms where people can tend to their personal needs, and food for the belly, Listening House also provides food for the soul. Here we get to know our guests. We call them by name, we look them in the eye, we share in their joys and sorrows, we give high fives and hugs, and we listen with the ear of the heart. When the virus came, we had to press the pause button, and we worked hard to reimagine how can we serve our guests and do it safely. We partnered with city and county leaders and outreach workers, and we did what we know how to do. We listened. We heard that there are more people staying outside than ever before, as people feel afraid for their health in the congregate shelter settings. We also heard that people staying outside were desperate for a place to clean up and to obtain clean clothes and food. We responded. We now welcome guests by appointment these days. We screen for health issues at the door, and if someone says they're sick, we bring what they might need outside. We provide masks to all who enter, and many of these masks have been made by Giving Women members. We disposed of much of our used living room furniture, keeping only a few pieces so that we could safely social distance and make it obvious to our guests that that's what's going on. We give people hand sanitizer to take with them, and we ask them to sanitize here. While our guests have always cleaned up using the sinks in the bathroom, we are seeing more women than ever before staying outside, and cleaning up in a sink is harder on women than men. As such, we're now in the process of getting bids to add showers to 2 of our 4 private bathrooms. So today, our numbers are necessarily down, as we limit the number of people in our space at any one time. Yet, because of your support, the coffee's still on. People still come to freshen up, get clean, well-fitting clothes and shoes, healthy food and water. We now give air high fives and air hugs, and people tell their stories. And we still listen with the ear of the heart. Thank you for your support.
Look at all the happy smiling faces from last year's annual event. So on to the next group of our grant recipients. Next up is Prepare and Prosper, who are supporting their financial services, mentoring, and tax preparation program. Tracy Fishman, Executive Director, is here to tell us more about this program.
Hi, I'm Tracy Fishman, Executive Director of Prepare and Prosper. I've been with Prepare and Prosper for almost 11 years, and we're so grateful for Giving Women's financial support and partnership, and we're really pleased to be in the mix of some other wonderful organizations, so thank you for your support. Prepare and Prosper is focused on building pathways to economic opportunity and financial well-being for low and moderate income households throughout the Twin Cities, and we also engage in work nationally. Our focus is on providing direct services that help us meet those goals and doing systems change work that is about addressing both policies and financial systems that either hinder or facilitate access to economic opportunity. In terms of direct services, we provide free tax assistance and integrated financial services. In a traditional year, we serve nearly 13,000 people with free tax assistance, and about a quarter to a third of the people that come to us also get financial services at tax time. We help return about $25 million in tax refunds. In fact, one tax credit alone, the Earned Income Tax Credit, is considered to be one of our nation's largest anti-poverty tools, lifting over 6 million people above the poverty line each year. We also provide financial coaching services to nearly 200 people each year that is a much more intensive program that is all about helping people meet their financial goals and take action to make change in their financial lives. And it is really about people taking control over their financial lives and helping to help people reduce debt, increase their net savings, sometimes increase their income. And then finally, we also run the FAIR initiative, Financial Access and Reach. FAIR is all about addressing the financial market gap and helping people who lack access to traditional financial tools to have access to things like checking accounts, savings, and credit building. Together, these three products make up a significant portion of people's financial lives. So we help people recapture a lot of their own money so they're not spending money out of their pocket by going to things like check cashers or payday lenders. And instead, we help them recapture their money, build a liquid savings for an emergency or a financial goal, and build their credit so that over time they can unlock credit and access to basic things like being able to get good insurance on a car or a home mortgage. These are all things that are very important. And then, as I said, we also do systems change work. We help advocate for a more progressive tax code, expand access to tax credits, and address asset building policies that help people become more economically secure. We recognize that this is a startling and unprecedented time with the COVID pandemic and the ways that it is affecting our most financially marginalized communities. And we are doing everything we can to still provide services in new and virtual ways and to help people get through this tough time and still be able to access the taxes and financial tools for a better, brighter financial future. Again, we thank you for your support, and we are sorry we can't be with you in person, but perhaps next year. Thank you.
Sojourner Project has a Safe You program that they are expanding with the assistance of Giving Women. Becca WoMN, the community educator, is here to give us the details of this expansion.
Hi everyone, my name is Becca and I am a community educator with Sojourner. I am thrilled to be here to be able to say thank you for your support and to share with you what your support means for us. Sojourner has been serving those victimized by dating and domestic violence, sexual assault, and elder abuse for over 40 years now. Our mission is to advocate for increased victim safety, to support the transition from victim to survivor, and to educate for the prevention and elimination of domestic violence. All the Sojourner services are free and confidential. Our current programs include a 24/7 crisis line for safety assessment, planning, support, and resources. Sojourner Shelter is an emergency residence for over 400 women and children annually. Our Community Legal Advocacy Department provides intervention, advocacy, and safety planning for folks in Western Hennepin County. Really over 850 clients in Western Hennepin County each year, and they work in both civil and criminal court. And finally, the Community Education and Outreach Department, which provides awareness raising, presentations, and trainings to thousands of people each year. So the grant that we originally wrote to you was to support our Safe You program. Safe You is our teen dating violence prevention education program. Safe You provides age-appropriate information and resources, encourages critical thinking and self-awareness, and builds skills needed to be in a safe and healthy relationship. The format is a purposeful mixture of experiential learning, small and large group discussion, lecture, and games to help keep students engaged. Some of the topics that we cover are things like personal values, tools for identifying healthy and unhealthy behaviors and relationships, safety in terms of technology use, and personal boundaries and consent, and so much more. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, Sojourner's ability to provide our normal classroom presentations has been limited, but we've been able to adapt to do some virtual distance learning for both our middle school and our high school students. We're really hopeful that in the fall we'll be able to be back in the classroom and providing in-person education. But if not, we will use the funds to support Sojourner's advocacy and other community education work. We believe and we know that information and education are a key to prevent future victims and future abusers. So thank you so much for choosing Sojourner to receive this incredible grant. We are honored by your support, and we will put it to good use to increase the safety and stability of relationships, families, and the broader Minnesota community. Thank you.
Thank you, Becca. That brings us to Amanda LaGrange, CEO of Tech Dump, who's here to tell us about their on-the-job training program that we are supporting.
Hi, I'm Amanda LaGrange, the CEO of Tech Dump and Tech Discounts, and we're very grateful to be one of this year's grantees. Tech Dump and Tech Discounts uses electronics recycling and refurbishing as a work training tool. So what that means is we work with businesses and residents to recycle securely and destroy their data for electronics, all while using that business model as both the funding and training mechanism for adults facing some sort of barrier to employment. Each year, we work with individuals who are coming out of incarceration or out of recovery programs as they re-enter our community. And this year, we're very excited to use Giving Women's dollars towards the almost $1 million a year that we pay to our trainees in wages as they work through our 18-month training program, which is focused on building relevant work skills, general life skills, and very specific forklift training, warehouse, compliance, safety skills. One other piece that I wanted to mention is that in these moments of record high unemployment, we know that it's more important than ever to ensure opportunities for employment for adults that maybe have gaps in their resume or have multiple felonies in their records that may make it harder for them to find employment. So we're incredibly grateful that you're joining us in this effort. We believe and strive to prove every day that everyone and everything has value in our community, whether it's an amazing individual who's had challenges in their past or that pile of gadgets that's been collecting dust in your garage. So beyond your financial support, we would love to ask that you yourself will recycle your electronics with Tech Dump. You'll tell as many businesses as you know about our data destruction and IT asset disposition services. And finally, shop with us. You can buy from techdiscounts.org online or at our brick and mortar store, all while supporting not only our environmental work, but also our critical workforce training. Thanks so much.
Such great memories from last year. Can't wait to make more memories with you all. Our final grant recipient for 2020 is the Lift Garage, and they're getting general operating support as well from Giving Women. Here's Kathy Hain, the founder, executive, and operations director, to tell us more about how they'll be using their grant.
Hi, my name is Kathy Hain, and I am the founder and executive director of the Lift Garage. The Lift Garage is a nonprofit auto repair shop. We provide low-cost car repair for low-income Minnesotans. We have been in existence for 7 years. I founded it. We got our nonprofit status in 2012 and opened in 2013. In the beginning, we sublet one repair bay 1 day a week. So we started very small. Now in 2020, we have 5 repair bays and we are open 5 days a week with a staff of 11. People who come to the lift are folks who are low income, so their income has to be 150% of federal poverty guideline or below. What that translates to is about $18,700 a year or less for a household of one, around $22,000 a year or less for a household of two, and it continues to go up by family size. We are seeing about 130 cars a month. We actually end up doing repairs on about 70 of them. About 20 of them end up being what we call do not invest. So cars that usually have such a high need that it doesn't make sense for the customer to invest in that car. The rest are usually inspection only. So people who come, get their appointment, get an inspection, and then either just take that information and go somewhere else or make another appointment for follow-up for approved work. We charge $15 an hour for labor and then parts at cost. So market rate, if you went to a regular shop, would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 120 bucks an hour for labor, and then anywhere from 50 to 100 to 200% markup on the parts. So people who come to the lift garage end up paying about 25 to 30% of what they would have paid in the market for the same repair. So what Giving Women has done for us is enabled us to continue to charge those rates and to make it accessible to people. In order for us to charge the low rates for our customers, we need the community's help to partner with us. And I always love it when I hear donors, whether that be foundations or individual donors or other folks, talk about the lift in the first person. That is always my hope, that you feel so connected to the work we're doing, that you talk about what we're doing at the garage. It brings my heart a lot of joy. And so it is my hope that all of you at Giving Women are able to embrace that, because without you and our many community partners, we can't do our part. And so together we can make change in people's lives and are making change in people's lives. And I am just beyond grateful for you and for all the folks who step up to enable us to keep trying to do the good work every day.
So there you have it, our class of 2020. As always, I'm so excited at the diversity of the recipients and all of the different areas of need that they cover. Look to hear more about these grant recipients in 2021 as they all report back to us. If there are any particular recipients you'd like to hear back from and host in a small group gathering, please contact Jody O'Neill to set one up. Regarding small group gatherings, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are currently on hold. But again, contact Jody O'Neill if you'd like to set one up for any of our 2019 grant recipients. Also, in-service events are currently on hold, but we do have some upcoming events that we'd like you to mark your calendars for. Our fall event is on Tuesday, September 22nd at the Washburn Center for Children. We'll have our eye opener on Saturday, November 14th, and we will be covering women and incarceration. So we look forward to seeing you at all of these upcoming events. If you're a guest watching this video and are interested in joining this amazing group, please check us out on our website, www.givingwomen.org. It's GIVINGWOMN.org, or check us out on Twitter, Instagram, or on Facebook. At the end of every annual event, my heart is full with the hope and promise that these grants provide the recipients and the recipients provide our community. Thank you all for watching. We miss you and hope to see you again soon. Stay safe and stay well.